Welcome to RV to Freedom Live with Carenza and Brandon.
Howdy.
We help future nomads smoothly transition to life as full-time RVers.
We're also the host of the RV to Freedom Facebook group and the creators of the Roadmap to Full-Time RVing course. I was just thinking, have we shared this into the group so everybody can see it?
No, I will do that now.
Yeah. I'll take care of it. Go ahead.
So we want to know, have you been listening to the wrong advice? Are you trying to do what you were told and feeling like you're making a mistake? Let us know in the comments how this feels and if you have some advice you've been wondering about. We're going to go through some of the stuff we hear a lot on the internet and we just don't really think is right. So at the end of this live, we're going to invite you to our free webinar, 5 Steps to Freedom, Start Your Full-Time Life the Right Way. And this is just so you can learn more about full-time RVing and transitioning to life on the road. We'll give you more details later, but right now, let's get started. Well, as soon as maybe Brandon finishes sharing this into the group.
I think I got it.
RV to Freedom group.
I think I got it. Pretty sure I got it.
You got it?
I think so. It's being
All
weird,
right.
like it is.
Because it's always weird.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So there's a lot of advice floating around out there in groups and blogs and the forums. And we see it every day. And we just need to call BS on some of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not all the right stuff to hear.
I just saw that Kelly said they've been trying very hard to research well, and they smile at advice. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the kind of the best way to take it sometimes, right?
So you want to jump into the bad advice?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. So one of the first things that we were told when we were researching was buy your last RV first. And what that means really is, you know, try to figure out what that golden goose RV is that you're going to want. So you're not going through a bunch of them and selling them and losing money. And we heard a lot when we were looking, and we still hear it today, especially in Facebook groups.
Right. And the thing for me is, how do you even know what you'll want in your last RV?
I mean, a lot of us don't even know what we want in our first RV. So, like, how can you even figure out what you want in your last RV?
And what if that last RV isn't right for you right now? I mean, that right now, we like our RV, but it may not be the one we want in 20 years. No,
and even 4 years on the road, I'm already thinking like, whoa, if we were a little more mobile, we could go there. Or maybe it would be nice to have a certain feature, you know, so it changes all the time. It's like buying your last house first. I mean, there are a few people that do it. We know some people in Carenza's family that have done it, but a lot of people don't. So we call BS on that one. The right RV today may not be your final RV. So,
yeah,
you know,
it's okay.
Take that with a grain of salt.
You know, you've got to work the RV that's right for you. And you may not be planning on doing it for 20 years, like I said, or something like that. But you need something that fits you now. And it's hard to actually decide that that one is your golden goose. That's a forever RV.
Now, Richard's asking if we always do a shot right before we go on camera. No, we're usually always running around, checking Verizon, checking AT&T, making sure the camera's lined up, making sure everything's turned on and working right. And we always forget something. It's the phone or the lights or the air conditioner's running or the dog needs to go out. So, yeah, this is us. Yeah. This is real life.
Yeah, and RV life, checking the internet connections. That's a big one, right?
Yes, we had to reset it right before this.
Yeah, because you never know which one's working the best right now. Let's see. All right, I'm going to jump into number 2 and put this up here.
Number 2, just get going and figure out the money part later.
Right. Sometimes you'll hear to jump in now, and you can figure out how to make money on the road later once you get out there. But the problem is that doesn't work for most people.
Yeah, and as soon as you're out there, it's exciting. Everything's new. And, you know, sitting at home, working on your resume, emailing companies, following up, all that boring stuff is just no fun when you've got all this other fun to do. So it's easy to get distracted and sidetracked and not put in the time. And, you know, when you're stationary, job searching is hard. When you're mobile, it's harder because you're not in the town maybe that you're trying to contact, and remote jobs are harder to find.
Right, right. So it's best to try to set up that stuff beforehand. I mean, if you haven't planned to fund your trip through savings or other means until you start making money on the road, you could run into a lot of trouble because you're out there and you're just like, oh, I've got to go see this and do that and whatever, you know. It's very easy to like just, especially when you first start, to get into it and really just want to go do everything.
Of course. I mean, you want to eat at all the restaurants in the town. You want to hit all the, you know, breweries. When you start meeting new people on the road too, every meetup with new people is at a restaurant or at a bar, and it gets expensive fast if that's not your normal lifestyle.
Yeah. And in that same kind of vein, you often see people suggest that, hey, you can just go work camp to make money on the road. And, you know, the thing is, typical work camping jobs, like at a campground and places like that, they don't always cover the needs of a typical traveler.
Yeah, oftentimes you're just getting your spot for free. So you're offsetting some costs, but you're not really making money. There are ways to make money, but, you know, you need to research these carefully and make sure that that's the life you want. And, you know,
assuming like with work camping, assuming you'll be able to cover your bills with only work camping can put you in a precarious spot. You need to do your research first and make sure you have a work camping job that actually will pay you and be able to cover any kind of bills that you have coming in. Some people can make it work, but a lot can't. So you just can't count on it as your sole income source. Plus, sometimes you need experience with some of the places.
Yeah.
You got to break into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, break into work camping. Probably didn't even think about that, right? It's like showbiz. You need an in.
Yeah. And once you're in, you know, that can help a lot. There was some people we met in the Florida Keys, and once she got past the kind of tough manager that was in charge of all the work camping, then she had access to work camp at all of those state parks in Florida, in the Florida Keys. So it takes some time to make those connections and have that place you can always come back to.
Right. And I just want to address Kat. Yeah, we do think he means alcoholic shots.
Yeah,
we don't even have time for that. We're just usually trying to make sure.
I usually save that for right after the show.
All right.
And Michael's got it. That's the way to do it, Michael. Just don't work anymore.
Right.
If you've saved up for retirement and you're ready to go, then that makes things a lot easy. And now you just need to protect that retirement and not blow it on making bad choices or, you know, the wrong RV or, you know, spending too much money in permanent vacation mode.
Right. But yeah, if you can retire and not have to work and worry about on the road, that would be nice. We're not at that point yet.
No, we'll get there, but we're just
we'll get there.
We're getting a head start on the retirement part, and then we just got to catch up the savings part. But, you know, the good thing is nowadays there's a lot of work that can be done from the road. So.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, Terry. I want to say hi because she was wondering if she's going to make it tonight. And a little late here, but we're going to have a recap of all the 5 points we're talking about. So no worries on that. And you can always catch the replay afterwards, right? All right, guys. So let's go. Number 3. Show it off.
It's carefree life that's peachy all the time, and it's beautiful scenery, and every day you're just looking out on the mountains like Instagram shows, and
nothing ever goes wrong.
No, it's just beautiful all the time. And we wouldn't change the lifestyle we're in right now. I mean, it's really awesome, but it's not perfect all the time. My steering stabilizer is literally sitting on the ground underneath the front of the RV right now, and I've got to go outside and crawl on the ground and fix it. Yeah. Regular life still happens when you're in an RV. So if you can't handle regular life, being in an RV is not really going to change that a lot. I mean, you've got to be able to roll with the punches and take the ups and downs just like in your regular life.
Yeah, and we all make mistakes no matter how prepared we are. Yeah. So you cannot go out there thinking, you know, that I won't make any mistakes. You know, I see that no one looks like they ever have a bad day, and I'm following just all these people and what they're doing. So I won't have any problems either.
But it can also almost make you depressed, like watching all these people just having such a great time all the time. And it's like, well, I'm not feeling that. Am I not doing it right? And
right.
It's like,
but that's the thing with social media. You scroll Instagram, you read travel logs, you're watching videos, and that can paint an unsustainably rosy picture of RV life.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, you've got all the people that are just showing you how awesome and great it is. And it is pretty awesome and great. Then on the other side, you've got these clickbait titles, just like the one we put on this course, the never make these mistakes. But you've got these
on the course, on this video.
Course, sorry.
On this live.
Yeah,
we
maybe I do
that
need
on
a shot. Yeah. But yeah, on this live video, we did it on purpose. The 5 mistakes you should never make.
Never make these 5 mistakes. Never, because we did, yes.
But you'll see this done on purpose, and it's done on YouTube because it's a clickbait. What does it get you to do? You click and you watch the video, and they get revenue, and that's what they want from you. And yes, things happen, good and bad, but it's not as extreme as the internet makes it out to be. And I think we are all known now the internet makes everything extreme.
Right.
It makes it yes or no, black or white. And there's a lot of gray area.
There's a lot of gray area. Yeah. And some of the things that have been complained about are very, very minor things. And they might not apply to you at all. Like something that someone else just is, heaven forbid they can't get, like
the right brand of bottled water somewhere.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's water.
I don't care. Yeah. But, things come up like that. So you always have to take everything with a grain of salt that you see. And poor Marie over here, she's laughing because perfect every day because they have had some issues getting set up right now. And you are a trooper though. You are a trooper.
Just stick through it. Eventually it'll smooth out and new things will break. I mean, our RV's been really solid for a long while now, so we were due. And so the slide switch went out, steering stabilizer fell off, and then I just figured out the front step's about to fall off. And it's just all things I got to go through.
It's just, and that was just like screws on the, it's not like the steps even out to outside our door, which actually already had an issue.
It's just some screws pulled out of the wood, and I just got to deal with it. It's maintenance. It's a home,
right? Like, because we use these things a lot more than manufacturers think they're going to be used.
Yeah. And the difference between an RV and a home is on a home, you can kind of let things go sometimes and not worry about it right now. But in a motorhome, I can't drive out of this park unless I deal with my steering stabilizer. Otherwise, I'm dragging it on the ground. So some things just become more pressing and they have to be dealt with.
I was just glancing through the comments here. Kelly said realism. Oh, let me just throw this up here. I forget sometimes I can do that. Realism is our friend. Love that we don't sugarcoat. And we do. We make sure that you know all about it. The ups and downs, it's not.
And all the gray areas in between.
And the gray areas in between.
All the regular
stuff. There's a lot of gray areas. There's a lot of ups. And you can go back and read one of our posts last year when we were 3 years on the road, which was over a year ago now. When we were trying to write about some of the bad stuff, there are downs, but nothing is ever too bad for us because we're still pretty happy with our life.
Yeah.
But there are down points. So, you got to take it with what you can.
So the fourth, never make this mistake, is one that's just kind of a real pet peeve of ours, and it's rules of thumb and very matter-of-fact advice, but a lot of it seems to come out around towing advice, like how much can I tow with my truck? And you'll get people throwing out rules of thumb like only go up to 80% of your towing capacity, and that's a nice way to start,
right?
But you can still follow that rule of thumb and still be overloaded in some respect on your on your truck or your RV. And you just need to make sure that you're not taking this matter-of-fact advice as gospel.
The thing with rule of thumbs is they're exactly that. They're rule of thumbs. You need to actually calculate properly when you get to the point where you need to buy something. You don't want to buy it and tow it and just go, the rule of thumb's good enough.
Yeah.
And especially as a full-timer, it's a little different than we're
using them all the time.
We're putting a lot more in. We
carry a lot more than a weekender does.
Yeah. And make sure you're not using dry weight, because this can be spouted off. I don't know why I said off. Off by dealers and manufacturers and consumers. but that can put you into the overweight category quickly because it's not accounting for anything you throw in there.
No, the dealers love dry weight because dry weight makes it sound like, oh yeah, you can totally tow this big fifth wheel with a single rear axle truck and you don't need a dually. But as soon as you put your stuff in it and you look at the gross weight, you probably need a bigger truck than you think you're going to need. And you really got to do the numbers and do the homework because it's everything you own and you and your life and everybody you're sharing the road with that you're going to have to deal with. And so just do the numbers. And yes, you'll probably need a bigger truck. That's probably going to happen to you. And just get comfortable with that idea or think about a smaller RV.
Right. Right. And let's see, if you need to work the numbers yourself, basically, and just not trust hearsay on the internet. Because you can go into ask a question, go, is this truck good enough? And you're going to get people on both sides saying yes and no. So you need to do it. And
those, whenever you hear numbers, especially, percentages or that's good enough, really take it carefully, not just with trucks, but with electricity, with how much power you can use or what you can and can't do with a generator. Like there's more to it than a lot of what gets thrown out there in the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
And on the YouTube pages and all the other social medias.
All right. Number 5. This is taking advice at face value. A lot of this advice is dispensed in a matter-of-fact way, and you're led to believe it's correct because it's just, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
But, verify before you take everything as gospel.
Yeah, and make sure you put yourself in the picture and see how it applies to you. Because maybe something that's right for a full-time family giving that answer is not right for you. Or maybe you are a family and they're giving an answer as a solo person.
Or just even your family might be different. I mean, if you ask what's the best RV for a full-time family, and you get an answer that, oh, this specific bunkhouse and a fifth wheel is the best. That's great. Yeah. That may be the best one for that family. And it may be a great option for you. But you got to look at your other considerations of what else you want to do with it and beyond just, hey, it has a bunkhouse and it's really nice.
Yeah.
Because it might not work for the rest of your lifestyle.
Exactly. And you'll also get this, there's just another way it's put out there. It's not so much what's the best. You might say, what's the best RV for this? And someone will come in and be like, well, I would never do it in anything less than this, and it's like, whoa, I can't do it if I don't have that. Then all of a sudden you're stretching your budget or you're getting into something you don't want because it's so matter of fact and so like in your face that that's the way it has to be. And it's not. We've met people that full-time in everything from a pop-up camper to a 45-foot tag axle, and it's a couple in a pop-up camper, a big family in a Volkswagen van, two people, a couple in a 45-foot tag axle. It's all just like regular life. There's one to fit every person, and there's different budgets, there's different traveling styles, there's all different factors that come into this.
Yeah. So it's really about what works for you. So you always have to put yourself in the picture and not just take that advice at face value. Yeah.
And I would say on this one that this is one of the mistakes that we made. We listened to the people that were very matter of fact. And, I would never have an RV that was smaller than a certain size. I would never go without a diesel. And we bought it. We bought the 40-foot diesel pusher with 4 slides. It was a big bus. It was beautiful. It was huge. It just didn't fit our travel style. And we didn't really know what our travel style was because we really didn't think that hard about that. We just thought, hey, take us, stick us in an RV. That'll be comfortable. And it's not so small. And we were scared of going small. Yeah. But that was a big mistake we made. And it was an expensive one to get out of.
Yeah, it was then that whole buy your last RV first and not putting ourselves in there and taking advice at face value. And we should have thought a little bit more about it and about us.
But it's hard to know when you're coming from a regular life with, we had we only had 1,000 square foot apartment at the time, but that was huge compared to an RV. And it was small for an apartment. And so we thought, we can't go too small. It'll just be way too cramped, but you'll be surprised how you can adapt.
Yeah. Susan said that people and campground salesmen, even you're gonna get a lot of slack for this one. Even Camping World guys have given us bad advice, and I'm not saying from us, just people love to rag on Camping World. And the advice we'll get there: do your homework before you take them as truth, and that's absolutely true. You got to do your own homework.
Yeah, I mean, most dealers are selling to weekenders; they're not selling to full timers. Most RVs are fine for everybody, but there's special requirements we need. We really got to pay attention to the weights and the capacities and all those things to make sure that we're not overloaded. They don't care if we're overloaded because we bought it and we're gone. But we got to worry about that because it affects our maintenance and our suspension and our safety and a whole bunch of other things.
And I was just going to say, Mary said, related to the dualies and everything, and that's so true. They're picking up their dually on Wednesday.
Yep.
Woo! You guys are getting out there.
So often when people do the numbers and run it all through, they need a dually on a fifth wheel, and that's just how most of the time it adds up, unless you've got a small fifth wheel.
All right, you know what? I know we said 5, but we have a bonus.
Woo!
A little bonus one here. Okay, this is another one that you might not even think about right away when you're trying to figure out what you need in full-time life and what you want, and you're kind of still worried about maybe your neighbors.
Yeah,
and
you still got the old keeping up with the Joneses thing going on with in your head.
You're worrying about what others think. And you're worrying about what your neighbors will think. I mean, they already think you're crazy because you're going to go live in an RV. And
like your family might think, oh, you're going to be homeless now. Like, it's not homeless. It's houseless. It's a whole different thing.
Right? So maybe you're trying to keep up appearances with them, with your friends and family, or maybe you're worried about what other RVers think, when you pull into a campground and they see this RV.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, we're a little more laid back than the general population, I think.
Yeah. I mean, all the RVers we know, like we said, we know RVers in every kind of RV. Old, new, like expensive, crazy, fancy ones, really, really old ones that break down all the time. And we're all cool. We all hang out and we help each other out, and it's fun. And when people bring their big fancy RVs, we hang out in their RV because it's bigger. But we all have fun. We really don't care. And you don't, at least in our lives, we don't meet a lot of people that do care. And the people that do care, they don't hang with us. They don't hang in these circles. They're stuck in a resort park judging each other, and it's fine.
And not anything against resort parks, because some it can be very relaxing and nice.
Yes, but they would never be seen in like a boondocking park or a park like we're in now, which is just a fine, regular, average person's park.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. You got me distracted there.
But anyway,
just don't let others dictate your choices, because you are the one living in it, not them. Yeah.
So, and that again comes to, don't stretch yourself into this bigger RV just because you don't want people to think you're crazy, or, and not that there's anything wrong with bigger RVs, but if you can be comfortable in a smaller one, you're going to get more places with it. So it's just a matter of figuring out what you want and do what you want to do. It always comes back to what you want to do. Mm-hmm. This is all it's about, because, if you do park next to a judgy person and they're giving you a little bit of look for your RV, you get to drive away and you go somewhere else later, and they'll still be them and you'll still be having fun. So it'll be fine.
Yeah. I did notice that Marie said, because you said houseless. Now, we're not homeless, we're houseless. And she said, I like house free.
Yeah. Yes. It's fun watching the other people mow the grass around here some days.
Right. Yeah, that is true. We don't have to do any of that anymore. No. We're house free and yard free.
Yeah, we have a whole different set of chores. So I'm not going to say that this is just, there's nothing to do anymore. I've got to crawl up on the roof and reseal the roof. It's that time of year.
Yeah, but that's not every weekend.
Right. Right. No, our weekends are often spent driving, but we enjoy driving. We get to go somewhere new, and we get to look out the big window at the world passing by. So it's kind of nice.
All right. We want to recap this?
Sure. Number 1. Are you going to click through them again?
Oh, I can't. Sure.
She'll click through them. Number 1, the bad advice is buy your last RV first.
Yeah.
You're not going to know. You don't know what your last RV is. You probably don't know what your first RV is. So just get an RV and get going.
Yeah, get the RV that fits you now and
Right.
that you think will last you a while, but don't expect to never change.
Right.
You know, especially depending on how long you plan to do it.
Yeah,
Or
you're going to change
don't
the
know
day
what
you
plan.
hit the road.
Yeah.
You're going to start changing. And a year after you're on the road, you're going to be a completely different person than you are right now. And that's just how it is.
If you're thinking 10 years down the road, it's going to be a hard thing to figure out.
Yeah. And these aren't investments. They're depreciating value, just like a car, sometimes faster than a car. But if you buy an older one at a good deal and you fix it up and make it nice, you might be able to get your money back out. But that's not what it's for. Number two.
You can figure out the money later once you hit the road.
That's going to make it hard.
It's harder.
And it's a boring thing. That and downsizing are really boring and really critical, and you just got to get on it. If you're planning to have a different job when you're on the road, get started figuring that out.
Right. Especially if you don't have a backup plan for savings or some kind of money that you're planning on living off of while you find this job.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get distracted out here.
Yeah.
Very easy. Most of us aren't just like sitting in one spot hidden away where we don't have to move ever and it's boring around us all the time.
No.
We purposely go boring sometimes.
To get work done.
Work done.
Number 3, it's carefree life that's peachy and roses all the time, or it's the worst possible thing ever and everything's going to break and you never want to make these 5 mistakes ever.
It's life.
Yeah, it's regular.
There's ups, downs, in betweens. It's just life. For us, there's been a lot more ups and a lot more in that good area. And we can turn a lot of situations into, not so bad.
Yeah.
But don't come in here thinking that nothing breaks. You'll never make a mistake. Nothing bad ever happens, because it does.
And just to get a little philosophical on you for a minute here. Sometimes, I remember one time in particular, I was sitting on a dock in the Florida Keys watching the sunset. She's laughing at me. This is not me.
So stereotypical,
I know.
Like,
but I was like, it was it was a
philosophical.
postcard. It was like the postcard image of the sun setting and a bird flew across. And I told myself, like, remember this. Like, remember that I get to do this so that when the RV breaks down or when stuff goes sideways on us, I'll remember that, yes, there are lows, but the highs are higher than they were before. So even a bad day RVing is better than a good day in the office, which may not be exactly true, but close.
Right. All right. Number 4.
Yes.
Only using a rule of thumb when you're trying to calculate, especially towing and trucks and what you need.
Yeah.
Rules of thumb are rules of thumb only.
Yeah. So the mistake here is not doing the work.
Yeah.
This is the one place you're going to have to pull out your math hat and your calculator, and you're going to have to do it.
You're going to say calculator and you went with math hat.
I was going to say thinking cap, and then I went with math hat. Same thing.
Okay. I just thought that was funny. It just threw me off. How many of you guys have a math hat? Put some thumbs up across the screen. If you have a special hat.
With the green visor. I was
okay.
and you get your adding machine out and the calculator and the whole thing. It's one of the places you just got to do the work, but you only have to do it once, unless you sell the RV or change trucks. Then you might have to do it again. But once it's done, and you know it. But you have to do it, and there's not a real easy way around it. There are some calculators that can help you, but there's not a great way to get around it. And you shouldn't try to get around it because it's important.
You shouldn't try to get around it.
Yeah.
You need to follow it.
Yeah. And then number 5, taking advice at face value. Yes, do exactly everything we said here, and you're going to be perfect forever. Don't do that. Don't take even what we're saying at face value. But what we will promise to do is to try to never be matter of fact and try to show you the nuance to the details so that you can understand where you fall on the spectrum, because it may be that, yes, you don't need this, crazy level of detail of this, but knowing a crazy level of detail helps you understand that, okay, I'm comfortable, but yeah, we really hate matter of fact things.
Yeah. And then it turned out to be number 6, worrying about what others think. it's not for them. You're not traveling for them. They're not living in your RV.
Yep.
It's you. It's all about you. You need to worry about what you think, what makes sense for you, and your family if they're traveling with you. Yeah. And that could be including your pets, because we need to make sure we have spaces for them too. So
yeah, and even once you get out there, you might turn around and start talking to your family about how great it is, and they're still going to look at you sideways because it's great for you, but it's not what they chose. That's just how it is. It's fine. And it's, live your life and be happy with it, and don't worry about what other people are thinking. The cool thing with RVing is you can always go find other people.
Right.
And a lot of times you can find the ones that think like you or think differently than you and have an interesting conversation.
Kat said, don't forget to cover the great TP debate. I think we could do a whole show on this debate. Yeah. Because that is true. That is one that has a lot of matter of fact. This is how it's done.
Oh, of course, yes.
This is the only way to do it. And there's so many different ways. And yeah,
I will give you one matter.
It's kind of ridiculous how RVers were so into and talk about toilets and toilet paper and black tanks so much.
Well, you never had to deal with those before. Now they're kind of a rite of passage of RV life. One matter of fact piece of advice that you can take at face value: do not leave your black tank open.
Yeah, black tank.
So
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So if you want to have some help figuring all this stuff out before you go, we're going to be having a free live webinar on Monday. It's called 5 Steps to Freedom. Start your full-time RV life the right way.
Yeah, this is going to take place of our Facebook Live show that we have every Monday. So don't look for us here next Monday. You need to sign up for the webinar if you want to join us live.
Yeah, and we're going to try to fill it with as much as we can in an hour. We're going to have slides, and we're going to talk, and there'll be cameras, and it'll be all this, but with slides. But it'll be awesome because we're going to get into some details.
Right. This is the 5 steps you need to smoothly transition into your full-time life. And these are the 5 of the steps that we teach in our course. It's just a condensed version and, fit within an hour instead of 8 weeks.
Yeah. So that will be this coming Monday, April 16th, a week from today at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can find it at roadmaptofulltimerving.com. If you want to participate, you have to sign up there.
Yeah.
It is going to be a webinar, so you'll have to, you'll have to log in, and you'll have to come, and you'll have to watch. It's not going to be live on Facebook, so you're not going to be able to catch it here.
Can you guys tell me? I just tried to paste that into the comments, and I'm trying to see if it's there, and I'm not seeing it. So, there it goes.
Yeah, there it is.
I saw it pop up on the screen. Okay. Awesome. So you guys can click that link right there and sign up for the webinar. It is a free webinar and it is live. We will be opening the doors to the course after that, but we don't feel like you have to buy the course or anything to come. Come, get the steps.
Get as much free stuff as you can. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Free is my favorite flavor.
Right.
Speaking of flavors, I haven't talked about pizza yet.
Oh, you haven't? This is the theme, an ongoing theme on these things, right?
So we're not gonna have a show on Monday, but we are gonna be back here on Thursday, and we're gonna have another Facebook Live show just like this about a transition from some RVers that we know that have been through our course, and they had a few speed bumps along the way.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about them and
their transition, and it turned out well. We're not going to bring you a sad story, but it is pretty interesting. Some of these, as we talked about, ups and downs, they've had a few. If you definitely had a few,
had some serious down.
Serious down.
Yeah, you'll have to come and see, and we'll show you the pictures. But it was pretty crazy.
And I just wanted to, Anne, she's asking, they signed up, will they get a confirmation? When will they get a confirmation? And you should be getting a confirmation right away. Yep. If you aren't, try signing up again. And
message us
and
also
I was going to say,
Facebook,
just let us know.
And we'll dig in and make sure you're in there.
I'll just make sure you're on the list on there. And if not, you can just type it in again. It should set you up all right.
Yeah. Monday night is pizza. Every night's pizza night if you try hard and believe in yourself.
Oh. Yeah, thank you, Bob. And Terry, if you're asking if the
link is here because you asked.
Oh, the link is here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, by the way,
yeah, check your spam. Good point, Kat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, check your spam and your promotions folder and all those others. Pizza in Savannah. Oh, Vinny Van Gogos in City Market. Vinny Van Gogos. That's where we used to go in college. Just took me a minute I've had a lot of pizza in a lot of places. I need to sing a country song or something. There's a Your Pie there
too, but Vinny's it's been there forever.
Yeah, Vinny's is a college institution.
Yeah,
but it's
I mean it's a Savannah
pizza.
Institution. It's in City Market.
But Your
and then
Pie,
you can go from Vinny's to go get pralines and stuff at whichever one is there. I can't remember if it's Savannah's
Candy Kitchen.
It is.
Yeah, because it's one my brother used to work for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right there in City Market. So yeah, you don't even have to leave, and then you can, get in a trolley and go down to River Street.
Yeah.
Or go over to Pinky Masters and hang out with the college kids. Is that still there? I think they closed it.
Pinky Masters was closed.
Yeah.
McDonough's is still there.
Right. By the way, if you go to the RV to Freedom Facebook page, you can click like and follow, and you can get notifications from Facebook about the live. So anytime we go live, you'll get a little.
Yeah, hey, they're on live, and that way you want to watch. I do that for things that I like to watch, and I'm like, oh, click over quickly, because sometimes it's easy to forget about this stuff. I'm trying to see if you guys had any other questions.
There's a question. There's some questions here. Anne's got a question. I mentioned roof maintenance. How did you learn what roof maintenance you needed on a regular basis? Is there a checklist per type of RV or brand? We do have one, and it's in our course. There's a lot of maintenance to be done. Some of the big ones are like the roof. Every 6 months to a year, get up on the roof, check it out. How to do it just takes a lot of researching and understanding what type of roof you have and what materials you can put on the roof, and you can put them on certain things, but you can't put them on the skylight. And there's a lot of detail to it. It just takes
a lot of weird stuff. I can't even think of how we actually learned when we started.
Well, our previous RV gave us a lot of learning experiences.
Yeah, it did.
It had a lot of different issues in different departments. So it was a whole lot of researching and learning and trying to figure out what's the best tool for the best job. And and
then of course the schedules are different between part-timing and weekending and full-timing.
Yeah.
So there's
some things we don't have to do as often, and some things we have to do way more often because we use the RV a lot more.
Yeah. Maintenance is a big thing.
Yes.
And that roof, and unfortunately, there's not just a good source
and
to say.
The thing with RVs is they're built good enough and no better. So as long as you can maintain it, you can probably hold it together pretty good. But if you don't maintain it, they're not going to last very long.
Right.
There was another one earlier I saw. We're just scrolling through the comments. There was someone they commented about. They had a small fifth wheel and they were looking at a bigger fifth wheel. It was right at the very beginning. And they're wondering about getting into spots. There it is.
This one?
Yeah, Bob. So you have a Jayco 28-footer fifth wheel, which you love, but you saw a 36-foot that you like, which is really about 40 feet long, but you're worried about traveling. What are our thoughts? My thought, if it was me, and I'm not you, but if it was me, I would go in the 28-footer, get out there, live a little bit, and see if you really need that 40-foot.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's easier to get out there with what you have and get started and actually find out what you truly like once you're out there. It's not fun to move into a new RV either way.
Yeah.
It's a little trickier than like a house sometimes. Although I say that, but you can park them next to each other, and at least it's like a really short kind of thing, and you don't have as much stuff.
Yeah, and you can just go from cabinet to cabinet. You don't have to go into boxes and then into a truck. And,
so maybe it's not as bad. It was
moving sucks.
Moving sucks. Period. Because we did it. We've done it in houses and apartments across country, and we did it between two RVs. So it's not the most fun thing, but it does give you a chance to really get to know if you already have something, that you like it can be helpful to start out in it.
The difference I think you'll find with a 28-foot fifth wheel versus a 40-foot fifth wheel is a 28-foot fifth wheel, you can call up any RV park and ask for a spot, and they'll probably have a spot for you.
Yeah.
With the 40-footer, every park you call, you're going to have to tell them how long you are and see if they have a spot that's long enough. Most parks will.
Right. Right.
But some of the older state parks, I mean, highway vehicles used to be limited to 35 feet. So they only had spots built up to 35 feet because there was no RV bigger than that. And then over the years, they've added a few, but there's always going to be a limited number of big spots.
And that goes for like national parks too.
Yeah.
So if that's what you want to do, it's something to be cautious about.
Yeah.
Getting the longer.
Like the park we're in now, we're actually in an RV park. And when we came in, we're 30 feet. So it really wasn't a question of where we go. We could park in any one of these spots here. And then it was just a matter of, can we fit our car next to us?
Right.
Or your tow truck, your pickup that you're towing with. So it was no question. But if we were bigger, we would have had two choices in this whole park that we could have parked in. And if we didn't make a reservation, we just showed up, but being bigger like that, we would have to make a reservation because we'd have to know we could fit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And
so if you love it and you're comfortable in it now, I mean, you might be more comfortable, but you're more mobile. So what's that compromise you want to make?
Exactly. That's what it's all compromise. Yeah. It's all compromise between what you want to do, where you want to go, what is comfortable for you, and what you prioritize.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything else? I don't see anything unless we start losing comments again, like last time.
I don't think so. Can I scroll through real quick? I'm just going to scroll through, and then Chris is going to tell you all about toilet paper. I don't know.
I'm
just make stuff up.
Yeah. Well, actually, here, I'll give you I will tell you what type of toilet paper we use. Is that weird?
It is weird, but go ahead. It's done now. The cat's out of the bag.
We use the Scott's with the purple label, the extra soft. And we just found that it actually passes a toilet paper test. And I hate RV toilet paper.
Yes. No.
Hate it.
We don't have that in our house.
I hate it.
Did we do this one from Terry?
No, but I saw that Marie and stuff were answering her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Terry asked, so how stressful is that first week and month? A lot. Depending on your personality, it's more or less. But it's fun, scary.
Yeah.
Because you're going to reach a point and you're going to be going down the highway and you're going to be like, everything I own is in this car with me. If the car's 30 feet, 40 feet long, everything I own is with me. A car is going to hit us. It's all going to explode. It's going to be gone. And that's the end of it. And yeah, you've got to push those thoughts away because, life happens. Your house could burn down too. And then it just takes a while to find that footing.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. It's just kind of just getting used to it because at first everything's just kind of like exciting, scary. Exciting, scary. It's like am I going to be able to fit in here? Oh, am I going to be able to drive through this? Am I, Brandon was like, the slide's going to come in. Right. But it's kind of a scary thing because you're not used to it. But
and you have a lot of things to learn about. Like in your house, your water heater is just always on. It's just always working. Your plumbing is always connected. Your house is always there, and your doors are always working. Everything's normal. In an RV, what does this switch do on the water heater? What does that do? When do I switch this one on, that one on? How do I dump the tanks? It's just all these things you've got to learn. It's not difficult. It's just different. And we say that a lot. It's just
different.
It's okay because you don't have the experience of doing this. And that's fine. And it just takes a few months and trying to find a routine.
And, he says a few months. It took you a few months.
Well, she wasn't in charge of making sure the RV worked all the time.
But it depends on you and how long it takes you to adjust and get comfortable with it. Yeah. And I mean, I think part of that was because we ended up sitting a little longer at the first spot we were at. So
and it's also because we bought this huge RV.
Right, we bought this huge RV.
That was very expensive, and I was just afraid it was going to break.
So like moving it that second time, and we had an issue right away that we had to deal with. Mm-hmm. And
the generator.
Oh, the generator and the our ceiling.
Oh yeah, and the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah. So so we had stuff right away that we had to deal with. And it was stressful, but it worked out well. After a few weeks, we got more into RV life and it felt better. And then by the time we did move from that spot, he was a little nervous about everything coming in and moving, but it went well. And then we were kind of like taking off. And
yeah, and then you get going and you get in a roll, and then it's like, this is fine. This is normal life. Things still happen, you know, things break here and there, but whatever. I mean, like we pulled into the park, the steering stabilizer is laying on the ground. Oh, well, I can fix it. No big deal. I'll go find the parts and we'll deal with it. And it's not like, oh, the end of the world. But, you know, if that happened to us day one, maybe I would have lodged in my mind, this whole thing's going to shake itself apart on me. And, you know, so it takes a little time to get used to the idea of living in a moving vehicle, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, now it's normal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I think that I'm just was double checking stuff here. But yeah, Jonathan, remembering to switch the power from water heater to microwave.
Yes.
We're turning on your water pump. What was that one that you did there?
Oh, yeah, you had your water pump on all the time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which is the weirdest thing. We've been boondocking for a long time lately. We got to this RV park and like we turn on the water and you don't hear the water pump and it like messes with your mind because you're supposed to hear this loud noise under the cabinet, but it's not there. What's wrong? And it's not wrong. Everything's working.
Yeah, we're just hooked up. We're
normally
not used to this right now. We've been on a streak. Oh, well. All right. Well, guys, we will talk to you next Thursday. We're going to talk about a up and down kind of interesting transition from sticks and bricks to full-time RV life. And then remember, next Monday, when we usually have RV to Freedom Live, we are having the webinar. So if you want to join us for that, and it's not going to be on Facebook, and it's just live. So you have to come if you want to be there. And it is at roadmaptofulltimerving.com, and you can sign up and see us there and some lovely slides. This is why not working. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. And then we hope to see you next Monday.
Yeah. And I saw one more comment from Bob that I wanted to comment on. Oh, hey, that's me. I didn't mean to click that. Shameless plug. Yes, your neighbors may look at you and they may think you're newbies, but don't be afraid to go out and ask for help. Yeah. So many people are afraid to. In the RV park, like if I saw someone struggling and they came ask me for help, I'd be happy to go help them. I mean, most people are, because we learned all this cool stuff about RVing and we want to share it with somebody, and our families don't care because they're not RVers. So if you're new, I'm happy to come help you. So don't be afraid of asking for help if you're, you know, getting set up and having an issue, can't figure out how something works.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've been at RV parks and people just help each other out. We've asked for help with something that was going wrong and we needed another set of hands, or we've been asked to help with something. We borrowed gas cans from somebody one time because we needed to go into Death Valley and we knew our car could not get that far without extra gas. You know, it's just, RVers are pretty good people.
Yeah, we all know we're going to need the help one day, so we're all fine to help.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys Thursday. We're going to talk about some other RVers out there, and then sign up for that webinar on Monday, and we will see you guys. Or are we done?
Yeah, I was just putting it back up there for them.
I gotta take that down and put the other thing up.
Oh, I didn't think we did that.
That's fine. We're still learning how all this stuff works.
We'll see you guys Thursday and then next Monday.
Yep.
Bye.
See you guys later. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this replay of our Facebook live show.
Join our Facebook community to participate in the live shows and learn how to live in an RV.
Go to rvtofreedomgroup.com to join the RV to Freedom Facebook group.
And to be notified about our next live videos and more, sign up with the link provided below in the video description.
We want to help you find your RV to freedom.